everyone. Today is Tuesday, February the 22nd, 2021, and we are talking about elapsed time today. This concept is going to help us to determine how long we've spent on a particular project or event, or when we started an event, or when an event will end based on how long it's supposed to last. So today we're still working on elapsed time. Now this concept can be somewhat confusing because we determined last week on Monday that elapsed time cannot be added or subtracted like we do with regular addition and subtraction. And we decided that that was because we were using place value to add and subtract, but place value doesn't work because time is based on 60 minutes rather than like our place value system. So we've determined that just regular addition and subtraction doesn't always work because we're looking at it in a different way. It doesn't take 10 to make the next one. It takes 60 minutes to make an hour. So it does make things look just a little bit different when we're talking about figuring out elapsed time. So today we're going to be thinking about elapsed time, and we know that elapsed time is the amount of time that has passed from the beginning time to an end time. And to find the elapsed time, we're going to count the hours and then the minutes. So we want to do the hours first, get rid of those bigger ones first, and then count the minutes. And elapsed time means what happened in between, what time was spent in between the beginning time and the end time. So as we're looking at that, we're going to think about how important it is to know the significance of midnight and noon. Now remember that the time from midnight until noon is called AM. So it's kind of like when we're still asleep. Usually we're asleep at that time, or we should be. The AM is going to be from midnight to noon the next day. The time from noon to midnight is called PM. So those are going to be important for us when we're thinking about elapsed time. So let's look at our first example. We're going to talk about recess. Recess began at 11:12 a.m. The students played for 1 hour and 10 minutes. What time did recess end? Now in this particular problem, we know the beginning time. We know that they started recess at 11:12 a.m. We also know the elapsed time that took place. We know that they played for 1 hour and 10 minutes. Wow, that's a nice recess, isn't it? Everybody wants that kind of recess. We want to know what time did recess end. So we're going to hop over to our whiteboard and we're going to work this problem out using our mountains, hills, and rocks. And we're going to talk about that just a little bit more before we proceed to do this on a number line. So as we're thinking about what we know about this problem, we want to go back and just review what mountains, hills, and rocks stand for. And remember, we want to do the hours first, try to get rid of those hours, and then we want to work on the minutes. So the mountains, the M here, stands for hours. So 1 mountain equals 1 hour. And then we're going to talk about the hills, and that H stands for hills. These hills represent 5 to 10 minutes. So you're going to know what you're using there, and I would even write that on the number line so that it make it helpful for you. The next thing is the rocks. The R stands for rocks, and the rocks are 1 minute. Now we're not looking at seconds here. We're not thinking about seconds because our clock for here, we don't even know what the seconds are. So we're not even thinking about seconds. We're looking at to the nearest minute. So we know that recess began at 11:12 a.m. Now, when I'm thinking about that, I know that they played 1 hour and 10 minutes. I want to think about getting rid of that hour first. So the first thing that I'm going to do is draw me a mountain. And I'm going to draw that mountain, and I'm going to determine what the next time will be. And according to that, the time here, if I'm looking at the next hour, I know that the next hour after 11 is 12. But now I want you to look closely. Remember, we talked about AM, PM. I'm going to noon now. So at noon, am I going to be in AM or PM? Oh, I hope I'm hearing you all say PM, because now I'm at PM. So I have gotten rid of this 1 hour here, and I'm going to go ahead and just quickly write in the top here 1 hour so that you know that represents that 1 hour of recess that they've already used. So now we're at 12 o'clock. Now, we know that they also played, oops, I'm sorry, it's not just 1 hour yet. Oh, do you all see Miss Bays' mistake? 1 hour from 11:12 is 12:12. Ooh, we almost messed up there. See, it's very easy. You have to really think about what you're doing there. Miss Bays was just thinking about the hour, and I forgot to add those minutes. So 1 hour from 11:12 a.m. is actually going to be 12:12 p.m. So now we're ready to start working on our minutes. Now remember that I can use the hills for 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a hill for my 10 minutes here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a small hill. It looks like a rock, doesn't it? But you know, Miss Bays' artwork here is not the greatest. So this is going to represent 10 minutes, this hill is. I don't have enough point there, but you can kind of get the gist of it, because Miss Bays is not very good at drawing hills. But this is going to represent 10 minutes, okay? So I'm going to now look at the minutes, and I have 12 minutes and 10 more minutes. My new time for ending recess is going to be, now did my hour change here? Did I go to another hour? Did I have a total of 60 minutes? No, so I'm going to keep my hour as 12. And then I'm going to add 12 minutes plus 10 minutes gives me 22 minutes. Now, we're still in PM, so I'm going to need to put that there. So to answer this final question, we're going to say that recess ended for the class. I'm running out of space there. And Miss Bays cannot type this morning. Recess ended for the class at 12:22 p.m. So we know that it began at 11:12. We also know that they spent an hour and 10 minutes, and we've used our number line here to tell us that it's going to be an hour from 11:12 to 12:12, and then 10 more minutes onto that is going to give me 12:22 p.m. So recess ended for the class at 12:22 p.m. Okay, so let's look at another one. In this problem, we are going to be talking about an assembly, like we get together at school and we have our assemblies in the mornings with Mr. Dials. This assembly started at 3:02 p.m. So it's 3 o'clock, and it's 2 minutes after 3. And it ended at 3:58 p.m. They're asking how long was the assembly. So this time we're looking at something a little different. We know the start time, we know the end time. Now we're looking for that time that's in between, the elapsed time. How long was the assembly? So we're looking to see how long the assembly was. So let's hop back over to our whiteboard and try to solve this problem. So we know there's not enough time in between to get an hour, so we're going to think about hills. And I'm going to go ahead, because I know that I can get some 10 minutes in there, I'm going to go ahead and do 10 minutes. And as I'm thinking about that, I know that I'm going to move up my minutes. My hour is going to stay the same. So 2 minutes plus 10 minutes is 12 minutes. So it's going to be 3:12. And then I'm going to do another hill. and that's going to give me 10 more minutes. It's going to give me 3:22, and hopefully your number line will look better than mine because Miss Bays is struggling with these. You know I have trouble with these very much on a computer. 10 more minutes. Now remember, each one of these hops are representing 10, and if I were you, I would go ahead and put that in there so that you know you're talking about 10 minutes. For my sanity, I'm not going to on this number line here because it's driving me crazy on a computer. So I'm going to keep doing that until I can't do 10 minutes anymore. So right now I'm at 3:42. And I know I can get one more 10 minutes in because that's going to take me to 3:52. So one more 10 minutes is going to get me to 3:52. Now, I know that I can't go any more 10 minutes. I do know that I can go a 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and do another heel. And remember, and I'm going to go ahead and write this one here so you know this one's going to be 5 minutes. All of these were 10 minutes. So I'm just going to put a 10 here, but you know all the ones in front of it are 10. And now I know that's going to get me to 3:57. 3, 5, 7. Now, I'm going to look up, and now I'm going to be able to do a rock. And remember, rocks represent 1 minute. So now I have a 1 minute here. And that's going to take me exactly to 3:58. Now, as we're looking at that, to be able to find the elapsed time, all we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to add all of our mountains, hills, and rocks together by minutes. And that's going to tell us how much elapsed time happened for this assembly. So we can all count by our 10. So let's do that. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So we have 50 minutes here, 55, 56. So in this problem, we are going to give our final answer for this particular problem. Now remember, when we answer a question, we always answer it in complete sentences. We can restate the question. So we're going to say that the assembly lasted for 56 minutes because we were asked to find out how long the assembly lasted. So from 3:02 p.m. to 3:58 p.m. The elapsed time was 56 minutes. So hopefully you're starting to see how this number line helps us solve the problems. Yours is going to look much better if you're doing it with your on a dry erase board or on paper pencil that is not on the computer. You're going to be able to see that better, and you're going to be able to line those up better, those numbers underneath there. Again, you know Miss Bays' struggle with these number lines. Now, for today, on your lesson work, when you turn it in, I want you to tell me, because we were talking about that long recess, and I know how you all like recess. Let me know if you would like to have a recess that's 1 hour and 10 minutes. So you can either say, yes, I like recesses that long, or no, I'd rather not have a recess that long. So let me know in the comments on your lesson work. I hope everybody has an awesome day. I'm really excited about tomorrow because I'm going to get to see Schedule B students. So you guys be ready to go when you come in tomorrow because I'm excited to see you. I hope everybody has an awesome day. Look forward to seeing you between 12 and 1 for your multiplication test. Have a great day, guys.